Hello everyone, welcome to kind of a one-off thing I'll do every once in a while. It's going to be called Let's Rant While Playing Tetris Attack. Um, because I like Tetris Attack, I enjoyed ranting. A couple of ground rules. First, if you don't like people ranting, specifically ranting, I highly recommend you don't watch this video because it basically comes off as bitching, which is basically what ranting is. But it's just kind of thinking my thoughts aloud. Second off, I don't want any pity in the comments. Just because I'm ranting and I'm getting it out of my system and I trust you guys to not pity me or whatever or try to give me help. And you'll see what I'm talking about once I get into the rant a bit. So here's Tetris Attack, and if you press BALL as the game's starting up, then hold on a second, let me get the mouse off the screen here. Sorry. There you go. What it'll do is it won't when you get a chain or a combo, it won't stop the stack from going up. And so I'm gonna do that with for right now I'm gonna do it with versus mode. I'm gonna do versus mode on very hard, which is just up, L, and A. So, oh no, Bowser and his friends. So basically the idea behind this game, really quick before I get into my rant, is it's basically a puzzle game. And, it's basically a puzzle game, and what you have to do is stack up these things called garbage blocks on the other person's side, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be focusing in here for a sec as the idea is to get chains and combos and stuff. Chain is what you think it is. A combo is basically getting 4 or more blocks on one start. So, so normally, let's say when I do this, it would stop for a little bit, but since I put that code in, it's not going to stop. See, there's a 4. It's just going to keep going. That's kind of a hard code to make it harder. So here's what I have to rant about. Job stuff. I know I've basically been ranting on and off about this for quite a while, but I want to make it a formal rant. And here's why. In one of my recent Super Mario World videos, I was talking about my aunt and I going out, you know, to fill out job applications and really start getting cracking and the whole, oh my god, my life needs to happen kind of thing, right? And so I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, you go to a few stores, you figure out if they're accepting applications. You know, granted, I understand that it would have been a lot better, say, better like a month ago when they were hiring for seasonal stuff, and now they're not. And that's just me being a lazy ass. So it's not your fault. That's not anybody's fault for my own. I understand this. So we're going around and okay, fine, the experience part of the whole thing or the education part, you know, that's not the issue I have. The issue I have is with these extra little questionnaire things they make you fill out. You know, about yourself. For example, I'd rather be alone than spend time with people. Or when I filled out the Target one, here's X situation. What's the best and worst option? Whatever. Well, with that type of stuff, it was easy because that was customer service stuff and customer service bests and worst, so just cake. I think they're hiring for, if you're watching, Seamus, they're hiring for a presentation team member. I don't know if you know much about that, being in the warehouse and whatnot, but my store right now that's what they're hiring for. So, and that's basically what I'm going for. I can't really do warehouse, and I'd love to be a cashier, but they're not directly hiring for that right now. It's an overnight shift, 3rd shift, so I'm cool with that, right? But so that didn't bother me as much. I was like, okay. But then these questions about, I'm really surprised I'm actually being coherent while playing this. I did not think that was possible. an aside there. But essentially, like, I guess, like, these random questions about yourself, some of them feel like trick questions. You know, like, do you swear when you get into arguments with people? And I'm like thinking to myself, well, I do occasionally, but I really kind of avoid arguments with people in the first place, so there's never any need for me to swear when I get into arguments. Or something along the lines of, trying to think of what else. But like these questions where, like, if you honestly, not if you, I'll personalize it. Where if I honestly say what I think about given topic, then, like, I'm basically not going to get hired because they're going to think I'm some crazy deranged person. I'm trying to think of, like, questions where, like, but there's no, like, neither agree nor disagree. And some of these are just flat-out situational questions. You know, go back to the, alone or with the group thing. That has to do with being extroverted or being introverted, which is fine because, like, if you're, working at Jewel or something and you're expecting yourself to be a cashier, you'd hopefully want an extrovert for that job, right? But, like, I am, like, in that situation, but I'm kind of, like, what, my therapist likes to refer to as an introverted extrovert. Like, I get in these, most of the time I'm an introvert, but sometimes I get in situations like when I'm on the radio, or when I'm in public enjoying myself, or when I do this. When I do this. And it's like, oh my god, you're an introvert? Are you serious? Like, I didn't know that was possible. Okay. And it's, yeah, in real life, I'm a bit on the quiet side. I'm a bit on the, I'd rather just kind of hang by myself side. But there's no situational button. You have to say agree or disagree. Or strongly agree or strongly disagree. Like some of this stuff, like, do you enjoy being around people? Yeah, I strongly agree with that. They scare the shit out of me, but yeah, I generally enjoy being around people. Damn it, I screwed that up. But then there are questions like, man, I'm going through this pretty fast. There are questions like, like, are you the first person your friends would call? Right? And I'm like, no, because I really don't have any close real-life friends. Thereby, people don't call me, and even when I did have decent real-life friends, they didn't call me anyway. So, and it's not because, and I mean, it's partially because I never had my phone with me. Partially because, it's kind of one of these things where, I wasn't necessarily I was a good friend in person, but I wasn't necessarily a good friend not in person, if that makes sense. Not being very proactive and the like. So, these questions just annoy the hell out of me. And then I'm there with my aunt, and she's like, well, if you want to answer the questions honestly, you might as well just tell them you don't want a job. And I mean, granted, I know there's some compromise, right? You can't answer the questions 100% honestly, but you can't just answer them how the employer wants you to answer them, because then if you actually acted like you do when you got hired versus different than when you actually did the application, then, like, what good would that be? Like, that wouldn't be truthful, and I like being truthful, quite frankly, but I know I can't be completely honest, because apparently the real world doesn't like it when you're completely honest. So, I mean, there's the whole thing about, a whole nother discussion about honest with tact and honest sans tact and stuff like that I've talked about. Maybe not in videos before, but in various other things. So I guess my question to you guys, if I may question, I think most of you have jobs or have gone through the job process, essentially. And, like, when you got to those types of parts of those personal questionnaire parts of the, personal questionnaire parts of those applications. Like, did you fill them out like how you wanted, or how you thought the position should be filled out, or did you fill them out honestly, or did you fill them out mostly honestly? I'd really like your feedback on that, because as I apply to more places and see more of those types of questions, like, I know how I'd like to respond, and I know probably how I feel like I should respond, but, like, I'm not really completely sure. This battle always takes longer for some reason for me. I'm really happy I have a controller with this, because this would be a bitch without a controller. So that's all on that. I'll just finish up this guy. I think I have about 30 seconds left. I'll actually finish this guy in somewhere it will cut off or speed up or something.